back with Dr. Paul Kelly, the Chief Health Officer for ACT Health, and we're talking about heat waves. Dr. Paul, what impact have heat waves had on the ACT region?
Well, certainly we do have heat waves every year. Like the rest of Australia, we are a hot, dry climate. Luckily, here in the ACT, it normally is not a large number of days per year or for long periods, but certainly every summer we do have heat waves. And so in those times, we do notice that we have increased issues within our hospital in terms of heat-related illness and also ambulance call-outs. And so we do take that seriously to make sure that the ACT population is well warned that this is happening and can take precautions where appropriate.
Have there been any deaths attributed to heat waves in the past?
We don't really have that detail here for the ACT, but certainly within Australia, the estimate from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare is that on average over 1,000 people die from heat-related illness every year here in Australia. So there would be a proportion of those that would be in the ACT.
And is there a surprising group that's at risk? I mean, we've talked about the children and the elderly. What about tradesmen working out in the heat? And
certainly people that are using a lot of physical activity out in the heat of the day, particularly the middle of the day during a heat wave, would be vulnerable, yes. So everyone would be vulnerable at a certain point depending on how hot it is, the sort of physical activity people are doing, and their hydration level. So for those that do have to work outside in the middle of the day, if it's not avoidable, certainly wearing appropriate clothing, so that would be covering arms and legs with light coloured, loose-fitting clothing, and a broad-rimmed hat would be very helpful, but particularly taking note of hydration, so making sure that they're having enough water to drink. With relation to that, it's good to avoid highly caffeinated drinks during that period, because caffeine, which is found in tea and coffee, as well as some soft drink preparations now, can actually dehydrate you, so you need to be careful of taking too much of that during those periods. And similarly, alcohol. Alcohol is very dangerous in association with those high heat wave conditions. And so certainly water is the drink of choice during those periods.
Sure. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Paul.
You're welcome.